Good. I don't know if y'all notice anything differently. Maybe there's a detail or two that's a little different than usual. I don't know, y'all. Oh, you think it's the room? You think it's the room? Is that it? Nah, it ain't the room. It ain't the room. This is gonna be explaining why it took so long. It ain't the room. Only like 2 people got it. It's actually crazy. There's a big difference. There's a big ass difference. Hell yeah, it's that chair. Yeah. Yeah, it's this chair. You see what I mean? I spent all day, guys. I spent like I spent like 3 hours choosing a chair. I was in the Office Max, and those people hated me. The Office Max workers fucking hated me because I had one guy next to me, and I'm like, I like this one, and then I went to another. No, I like this one, and I'm like, nah, I like this one, and I kept going from chair to chair in a circle, like every single office chair that they had, and none of them were satisfying to me. And then I finally came back to this one. It was a really simple one. It was one of the cheaper ones, and I was like, you know what? And then it's got this feature. Oh no, don't tell me you don't. Oh, it does work. Yeah, so it's got this reclining feature right here. And I was like, you know what? When I'm writing shit and stuff, I could like stream for 10 hours in this chair. You know what I mean? If I ever need a break and if I ever need to chill a little bit, I can watch the stars on the ceiling and shit and just chill, relax, maybe watch a movie or something. I'm gonna be glued to, usually I sit on the couch to chill on my phone. I think I'm gonna be chilling a bit at the computer, spending more time editing, spending more time writing, spending more time being productive, and spending more time tweeting. Because Mr. Elon Musk, as many of you know, has just bought Twitter. Yeah. So let me get this straight. I'm going to talk about it too a lot. So I may get banned from Discord, YouTube, whatever. By the way, Jackson, he got deplatformed for 1 week over nothing on YouTube. So guys, me and Jackson are already thinking about plan C. So Twitch was my plan A, YouTube's plan B, and then the YouTube might get taken. So if the YouTube gets taken, whoo, that's gonna be tough. I can promise y'all one thing. If the YouTube gets taken, Infrared will still upload videos, but I'll probably like stream once a week, upload videos a few times a week, have a podcast, and write. And then it'll pretty much just be that. With the daily streaming shit's not gonna happen on Rumble. It's not gonna happen on Odyssey. It's not gonna. We gotta build our shit up a little bit more, little bit more before we do that kind of shit. Yeah, I should be writing books anyway. You're right. It's just if I could just write book. So if our Patreon reached like 4 to 5K a month, I would take like 2 weeks just to finish my books, for real. But that's not how it works. Also, that would kind of kill the YouTube. It would hurt engagement and hurt everything. YouTube is being slowly built back up. So I don't know if you guys remember, but the YouTube used to be a bit lit. Like last autumn, the YouTube was getting like, pretty good. And then I just quit YouTube for Twitch for a long time. Barely ever uploaded or anything. Wasn't giving the YouTube a lot of love. And then as it happens, I got banned from Twitch. So we're back on YouTube. And that's how that whole thing started. But anyway, what I was saying is, without talking about too much, I just want to talk about what's on my mind a little bit. By the way, this stream is not going to be that long. by the way. Thank you, Based. Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, anyways, I was saying, thank you, Base Tanky. Appreciate you.
Chat. Make sure to support if you can.
So
Gorilla.
we actually have some bad news. The bad news is that we're not getting emotes on the stream. We're not getting them on the screen until YouTube implements the policy, and God knows when that's gonna fucking be. But that's the bad news from. Yeah, I looked into the whole thing, and I pretty much, yeah, there's no way it's gonna happen. Anyway, in other news, you know, I don't know if I want to talk about this too much. I don't want to dwell in negativity. It's such a beautiful day. It's such a nice day, considering what Mr. Elon Musk has just pulled off and succeeded, which we're going to get into that, by the way. We're going to get this going. We're going to get this rolling. We're going to get this rolling. We're going to get this rolling. We're going to roll up. We're going to warm up. You want to know what's crazy, chat? This was on my mind, and I was thinking, I'm gonna itch my nose. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. I am truly the Sultan. I'm truly the Sultan. You want to know why I'm the Sultan? I'm the Sultan because infrared is very Islamic. This is a very Islamic aesthetic. And sometimes I wonder if that was a mistake, because I've been thinking about why I get so much hate. You know, I'm discovering new haters every single day, and people I wouldn't even expect to be haters. Yeah, they're big time haters. Like, group chats, just constantly everything I say, talking bad, negativity. Haas is this, Haas is that, Haas is a dumbass, I can't believe Haas said this, Haas is doing that. It's a level of obsession which is based in love, and it's based in the sublime, it's based in the disappointment. And I'm going to tell you guys the reason for that. It's because infrared is an Islamic aesthetic. Now, what does that mean? When I came to the internet, I'm going to tell you my regrets for coming onto the internet. When we came to the internet as infrared, it was Islamic. This was the Islamic call, which means we were out here with our curved swords, with the infrared globe in one hand and a sword in the other hand. We basically said, America's already in socialism. We dropped all of these red pills. We had all of these crazy, wacky ideas that really shocked people, and it's like this experience of the sublime, and we had a sword in our hand, and he said, and if you got a problem, fuck you, bitch, and we were just wearing that, you know. It's like, that's how we conquered as a horde. We were like the Turks. We were like the Turks. We were fanatics with the truth. And before people could even think about it, the violence, we spread infrared by the sword. Just like Islam in a way, right? Islam comes and it's just shocking. It's the end of the world. Everything you thought, you rethink it. And before you can even think about how that traumatizes and shocks you, you got the sword. Join, motherfucker. This is the army. This is the horde. Allahu Akbar. But that put a target on my back, as you could see. It's unmediated way. I'm Chechen. We're Chechens. That's how we started, right? It's just, we gave everybody every red pill at once to swallow. And most people are weak and they can't swallow it. So we've cultivated these kuffar guerrilla groups. So while we, the Turks, were conquering, there's so many like guerrilla groups that started forming to undermine us, because In the same way that we provoke so much sublimity, it's the sublime light that infrared represents, and it commands awe and devotion and belief and fanaticism and love. That same light does the extreme opposite as well. Extreme obsessive hatred, extreme resentment and hatred and bitterness and just spite and hate, like obsessive hate, love and hate, devotion, hostility, devotion and betrayal. Every extreme, we got every extreme. And here I am, Haas, navigating those two extremes like a sharp blade being cut down the middle. And I'm steering it in between, and I'm barely making it by. Really think about how much hatred. It's so easy to just start forming groups dedicated to throwing hate on me. Oh, did you hear what Haas said? Oh, Haas said this. Oh, the latest is that it keeps piling up. The outrage, the outrageous shit, right? It just keeps piling. It never ends. It's an endless source of seethe that I give people because infrared is extremely like I lay it all out on you at once, and I don't care. I will say whatever the fuck I want, and you won't even understand what I'm saying when I say shit. I'll just come outside and I'll just be like, clouds aren't real. And people just get outraged. But for me, what I mean is that some like Lacanian fucking French postmodernist shit, that's the deeper meaning hermeneutic behind it, is that actually the soul isn't in the sky, it's in the soil. I don't fucking know, right? There'll just be this like meaning for me that I just believe, and I'll say it, and then people will hear it and get very triggered by it, right? And it was, did you hear Haas said clouds aren't real? Did you hear the latest news about Haas? Did you hear the latest thing about... Wow. Could have just ignored me. I mean, you could have just moved on with your life. But people are lonely. And one of the biggest ways communities get to be glued together is around resisting the Ottoman Haas army. It's one of the biggest forms of social cohesion is hating me, because I am the father. I am the primal father. Entire communities get formed around hating me because I'm Freud's primal father. And by overthrowing the father, the brothers share a community based on collective guilt. This is how I'm a natural born leader. Holy shit, I might be Sultan of the fucking country at this pace. Because the truth is, if you form communities around Haiti, I'm your daddy. I'm your father now. Bitch, I'm your father. You formed in this Oedipal community. The social glue that holds you together is based on shared seethe about me. I'm just some random fucking guy from fucking Michigan. I'm just some random Arab dude from Michigan. But I'm your father, I'm your daddy. You want to know the truth? My loyal followers are less... I'm not as much of a daddy to them. Those are like my soldiers that are fighting with me in battle. One day they're going to become lords. One day they may become sultans. But my haters, those are my slaves. Those are my subjects. I am literally their daddy. I own them. I own them. I am in their walls, in their skin, in their head, rent-free 24/7. Why? Because they've turned me into the father. You soldiers, you are my soldiers. You're in my army. You're fighting for the Sultan, but I'm just your Sultan. I'm not your daddy. You got your own daddies. I'm just your Sultan. I'm just your political leader. I'm not your personal leader. But my haters, I'm their personal leader. It's easy to hate me because there are so many contradictions about me. You're a communist? You're a communist? Then why are you against all leftists? Hans, almost every affirmative position I have, you can find ways to prove how I also simultaneously hold an opposite position, or at least express behavior or a position that appear to be the very opposite of that, right? You're a revolutionary, Hans? Then why are you so conservative? You're a conservative? Then why are you so revolutionary? Everything at once. I'm everything at once. How can you be a communist and support what Elon Musk, a capitalist billionaire, is doing? And these people will form groups talking about this right now. They're probably going to talk about it right now. Hans is claiming to be a communist, but he's praising Elon Musk for what Elon Musk did. Nah. Contradictions drive the Anglo brain insane. I am the sublimity of contradiction. I'm the Sultan, motherfucker. Sultan has the cruel. Oh, I hate him. It's so outrageous. Bitch, I'm in a spinny chair now, so I'm observing you from quite the distance. I was in a wooden chair before, but now I'm on my throne. I'm on a throne. I'm sitting on a throne right now, observing you, my subject. Every stream, I'm gonna spit on my haters from my throne. Kiss my feet while I spit upon you, bitch. Elon Musk, as Mr. Kadyrov has called him, Elon. One of my biggest regrets, sometimes I think about, what if the internet wasn't ready for infrared? What if it would have been smarter to be slow and methodical? You know, Hegel, what he said about Islam, he said, Islam was a flash of brilliance. It was too quick. Came like a fucking lightning strike. A flash of brilliance. Then it just disappeared. And then what Hegel said was that in Europe, yeah, we had our Middle Ages, but slowly and methodically, the seeds of spirit were being cultivated.
The haters have to pay a piece of their soul in the form of spiritual jizya.
Absolutely. Thank you, Siderite, so much for the super chat. That's what Hegel said. He said, in Europe, slowly and methodically, the work of spirit was proceeding patiently, right? And sometimes I wonder if that would have been smarter. My intervention on the internet, what if I just did it in a way where it's like I was very much more strategic and I was slow and methodical, and you know, this brand puts a target on my back. See this globe right here? This globe here, right? This globe that contains within it an entire ideology, an entire worldview. This is Islam. One unified vision. This puts a fucking target on my back. Had I snaked my way through the internet, played one side, played another side, slowly, and by the way, not land it all at once, drip feed you the truth, drip feed you the infrared vision, slowly and methodically. Like, you know how they say, if you put a frog in boiling water, it'll leap out, right? But if you slowly start raising the temperatures, before you know it, that frog will be boiled. Based. Thank you, Morgan.
This month, Muhammad defeated the Jews in Khaybar.
No, we don't endorse that. And I don't even know how YouTube allowed that super chat. But we don't endorse that. The YouTube is not devoid of rules. So we do not endorse that. I denounce that. I denounce that wholeheartedly. I denounce that. Actually, unironically, I denounce that. Unironically, I denounce that. You have to understand, people don't know this. See, I'm laying out you the truth of the infrared vision all at once. Just like how there are Jewish people in the Mongol army, there's Jews in infrared. They're our brothers. They fight with us and alongside of us. Some have been the most loyal people in our community from day one. OGs. That's the truth. That's the truth. That's my honest position, honest to God position. Is it smart to say that? Maybe not. But it's the honest to God truth. Remember what Lenin said? There's people of the ruling class of every background. I'm against Zionism. We're all against Zionism. And that don't mean anything. Marx was Jewish. I hold Marx in higher regard than any living sheikh, any living imam. Marx is higher to me. And he was Jewish.
Base.
Thank you, Hank. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. See, I say these things, and it's silly. It's silly for me to say them because I gain nothing from them. Strategically, I gain nothing from them. It's not like the Zionist lobby is going to like me. It's not like the Zionist lobby is going to see me in a favorable light now and they're going to be off my back. No. Still going to be attacked. And then, there's people on the right who aren't going to like what I just said. So why am I saying it? I'm saying it because I'm a sultan, bitch. I wear my truth on my sleeve right before the grip that holds my sword. I have the globe of infrared in one hand and the sword of Islam in the other. I'm Chechen, bitch. Maybe it would have been wiser for me to be Christian in the Western sense, like, slow and methodical. And I think it probably would have in a lot of ways. But I've already crossed that Rubicon. And this is the sublime truth of infrared now. This blinding light, which we are devoted to like Chechens, like Turks, like Ottomans. We hide nothing. Nothing. I have a big mouth and I tell you the whole truth. I tell you the whole truth. I'm like Gaddafi, bitch. I don't have a filter. I'm like Gaddafi at the UN. I'm like Gaddafi at the Arab League summit. I don't got a filter. I tell you how it is. And I fight for that truth. With all the contradictions bundled up in it and all of the apparent absurdity, we shed a tear at the sublime beauty of this fundamental truth that is infrared. Hakeem goes, Islam is a reactionary ideology. Putin, shut the fuck up. You know what's one of the most beautiful things about what's going on in with Russia is that Chechens are like the spiritual vanguard. I find that beautiful. I find that beautiful.
Base.
Thank you, Finney.
So many beautiful complexities in Jewish culture that has nothing to do with Israel. Why does Israel have to be the focus? I know I'm just pissed.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with that too. I am, because Jewish modernity, I'm very familiar with it. Like, I used to be a big, you know, I used to kind of be into it. That's just the secular aspect, though, you know? But yeah, I agree. I agree. No, not Spinoza. Fuck Spinoza. I'm not a fan of Spinoza. One time someone accused me of anti-Semitism because I said fuck Spinoza. And I'm like, Spinoza got exiled by the rabbis in Amsterdam. So what the fuck are you talking about? Right? What are you talking about? But anyway, continuing. Elon Musk has acquired Twitter. Elon Musk. And let's not get too hurried. We're gonna get into the news, guys, but let's talk for a little bit. Let's talk. I came onto the fore giving you every fucking red pill there was. And that wasn't the plan initially, by the way. When we infrared people talked internally, we were saying things like, let's not give it to them all at once. Let's just slowly drip it to them. And then I would get these comments of people who would challenge just some small thing I said. And I'd be like, no, motherfucker. And then A led to B, led to C, led to D. And then suddenly I was just giving you like almost every red pill. And I still haven't given you every red pill. I still haven't. Like, for example, let's see. Ooh, there's a lot of spicy red pills you don't know about yet. Ooh, a lot of spicy red pills. A lot of spicy ones that I haven't revealed yet. Wait till you hear the one about UFOs. No, I'm just kidding. I literally don't give a fuck about UFO. I don't know anything about them, and I don't give a fuck about them. I doubt they're... Actually, there is a UFO problem, isn't there? The Air Force keeps talking about these mysterious objects in the sky. But I just don't care. I don't give a fuck about aliens. I don't even think aliens are real. I think we're the only thing in the universe, the whole fucking thing, where it's just us. And all of the rest of this was just made to humble us. And that's probably not factually true, but it's what I believe anyway. Because it's true on an ideological, spiritual level. They call me Haz the Ottoman. Sultan Haz. And they're waging a guerrilla war against my invasion. Slowly and methodically in the dark. With knives. It's actually beautiful. Sometimes I think my presence on the internet is beautiful because I just have this effect on people. I turn you into an obsessive hater, or I turn you into a devoted soldier. And the fact that those two things can coincide, it's just kind of beautiful. It's just a little beautiful. It's like a tear going down the cheek of a beautiful woman. How could there be so much suffering on the face? So much beauty. What is infrared, by the way? Gorillas and suns. Something dark and something light. Huh. Almost like it's dialectics, bitch. It's almost like the unity of opposites is the most ancient symbol of truth and being. It's almost like the unity of opposites is almost the most ancient and consistent symbol of being. Pure, absolute being. You know what the problem with human beings is in America and in the Western world and in the modern internet age? People don't want to be a man or a woman. They want to be an androgynous god. You just accept our sex makes us flawed. Our gender makes us flawed. A man is an imperfect version of human. A woman is an imperfect version of human. We are imperfect by nature. We're slanted and tilted in just such a way that prevents us from being enough. And this drives people crazy. It drives them crazy because they want to be both at once. They want to be both at the same time. They want both. They want both. They want both. It causes them so much pain that they can't be both. But alas, it takes two to tango, not just one. How sad. Women hold up half the sky. Can't hold it up by ourselves. How sad. How sad. So sad for so many people. So sad for so many people. Just two, and then here's the hilarious part. Two imperfect versions of human. They can't even understand each other. There's no way to even communicate. You say Marco, they say Polo. You say one thing, they say another thing. You say one, they say negative. You say sky, they say ground. You say sun, they say moon. You say cat, they say dog. You say light, they say dark. This is what I hold in my hand. All of it at once. A whole different world at once. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what infrared is at the most fundamental level. The most fundamental level. This is a world. You can call it a cult. I don't care. It's a world. It's a community. You join, and it's the HQ of Marxism-Leninism. And I challenge any other community to form around being Marxist-Leninists beyond the visible spectrum. This is a community. It's a world. It's a point of view. And by the way, you don't have to agree with everything I say. You just can't publicly come after me. You can have your own views. Some of our lieutenants have different views than me. I know that. Even our lieutenants disagree. Thank you, Voidburn.
There's nothing shameful about devoting yourself to someone that stands for the truth, no matter how many try to make it so.
Thank you so much, Voidburn. Holy fuck. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. A lot of people ask, okay, Hosden, what is infrared? Is infrared just Haas and my thinking? No. I think I say T-Rexes aren't real. I'm thinking about whether I should just start denying planets exist just to trigger the libs. So there's a lot of things you may not agree with. But what are we all united by here at Infrared? What is the one thing that unites all of us? What unites all of us is pretty simple. This world needs to be looked at in infrared vision. What unites us is that we defy the social convention of Marxism. We defy the community of Marxist-Leninists. And we start from zero to look at the world in a different way and in a different light with infrared vision. That's what unites us. Now, I come to conclusions. You may come to different conclusions. It doesn't fucking matter. This is what unites us. We believe that Marxism-Leninism has these consequences for the world that, see, why don't I just have a normal Earth? Why I'm like, you know what I am? I'm it's like bizarro world. That's what this is. It's a bizarro world because you have a normal world that you're used to, and then all of a sudden you have infrared vision, and we just have this HQ where we can be Marxist-Leninist, and we can look at things from a Marxist-Leninist perspective. But the way I differ from other Marxist-Leninist communities is that it's the whole fucking world that we're looking at with a Marxist-Leninist vision. The whole thing. And nothing is off limits. All of thought, all of French philosophy, everything, mathematics, whatever, science, everything, nothing's off the table. The whole fucking world in the palm of our hands, according to a Marxist-Leninist vision. That's the difference. It's the ambition and it's the scope to which we submit the world to this specific perspective. That's the difference. That's why we can question whatever we want. That's why I can say dinosaurs aren't real. That's why I can say whatever I want about facts. I can give you alternative facts. I can say anything. And you want to know why we have the freedom to do that? Because we no longer have a world we take for granted. We no longer have a world we take for granted. We have the freedom to say whatever the fuck we want, according to the vibe. Everything must be called into question. What did Marx say? Ruthless criticism. Ruthless criticism of all that exists. That includes dinosaurs, bitch. By the way, do I actually deny dinosaurs? Do I actually deny dinosaurs? I think I will. I think I do. I don't have to believe in them. Make me believe in them. Make me. Go ahead, make me. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I think the idea of dinosaurs is stupid. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm not saying this because I looked at the fossils and I don't know what the fossils are. I didn't even read Kantbot's literature about it. I didn't. I just decided I don't want to believe in them. I don't want to. It forced me to believe in them. And maybe I would be more open to it if people didn't get so mad that I didn't believe in them. But now I'm going to double down. Because make me, bitch. Make me. You can't make me. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like believing in T-Rexes. I just don't. I don't feel like it. I'm not in the mood. Okay? I'm just not in the mood. I don't care.
Based.
Thank you, young Caesar. Thank you. And why does this? Why do people get so outraged by this? Well, I don't know why, but it's like I have a sharp thing lodged inside of them in a video game, and I want to do deeper. I want to make the pain worse. I want to take everything to its logical conclusion because I'm Ra's al Ghul, and the reason I disagreed with Batman because I don't think Gotham can be saved. I think Gotham has to be taken to its final conclusion. I'm not like the Joker who dwells in the absurdity of it. I'm not like the Riddler who's imposing doubt about reality. I've made up my mind. Gotham cannot be saved. The world as we know it cannot be saved. I've made up my mind. I'm not dwelling in that contradiction anymore. I'm in a state of peace. I'm an artist. I have a vision of the world of pure snow. Purity. Purity. Like snow-swept mountains. Snow so pure and smooth, it's like a blanket. Like a desert. Barren desert. Flat. pure, smooth. Purity. Do you think that the apocalypse isn't a tempting prospect? Do you think the apocalypse isn't a tempting prospect? Let me propose to you something to think about.
Based.
Thank you, Mr.
Hope
Avila.
Viveras.
Thank you, Mr. Avila. All your hopes, all your doubts, all your strife, all your anxiety, all your problems, all the contradictions in your life, all the things you can't make sense of, all the disappointments, all the suffering, all the pain, all the meaningless things that have happened, all the tragedies, all the strife and the conflict and the heartbreak and the heartache and the death, everything, all of that. Take all of that,
Based.
right?
Atoms are not real.
Thank you, Over. What if all of that can be at peace? What if all of that can be delivered to a point of bliss? What if this earth, it's got so much shit on it, mountains and forests and all this shit on it, people, cities, what if it all just becomes one flat, smooth surface? Purity. Purity. Like a tear that dropped from God, covered the surface. One thing. That's Ra's al Ghul. And now, what if you don't take that literally, as in the literal end of the world? What if you just apply that ideologically? What if your ideology is full of so much rugged surfaces and...
Would love to hear
Thank you so
talk
much.
ABT mathematics.
Aparat. Talk about mathematics? Ooh. Ooh. I mean, I'm going to have to do a stream for that, but... Now, I said some crazy shit. The end of the world being a beautiful thing. Oh my God, how to destroy the world? Now, that's something a comic book character wanted to do. I'm trying to distill the meaning of that. So what if you go from the literal world to your ideological world? I want to destroy your world so you could be at peace. I am the Sultan. I am Islamic. I'm waging... Can you say jihad on YouTube, or is it... Okay, I won't say it. Just be at peace with the apocalypse. Be at peace. All of the things you lose your mind over, that you can't get over. It's bothering you so much. It's such a problem for you. Just get over it. And what if it all already happened? What Haas said this, Haas said that. Yeah, Haas said that.
Based.
What now?
Kanye West.
Thank you, Gabriel. But Haas said this. He did. He really did. Elon Musk. Am I a fan of Elon Musk? Am I a fan of Elon Musk? Tell you the truth, I'm a little suspicious. about this whole thing. Whole thing that happened with Twitter. I don't care about Elon. Elon Musk, I don't care about him. I don't care. Do I hate him? No. I don't hate the guy. Now, I also don't particularly, I'm not a big fan. And I think the reason I'm not a fan of Mr. Musk is because of his fans are really annoying, like the Reddit ones and stuff. I don't like those people. But at a fundamental level, why would I care about Elon Musk? Why is Elon Musk a problem? Elon Musk isn't a problem. Elon Musk is one of the billionaires who, like Henry Ford, right? And who's actually kind of doing something. He's doing interesting stuff. He's kind of changing it up a little bit, right? I mean, you're gonna look at Elon Musk as the quintessential capitalist of our time, and you're a fucking dumbass. Because you're looking at Elon Musk, but you're not paying attention to the City of London and Wall Street and the speculative bankers and hedge fund those fucking people. You realize Elon Musk's wealth is nothing compared to what gets circulated there, right? You realize it's like nothing, right? But anyway, I don't find Elon Musk particularly offensive. I don't find him outrageous or offensive to my sensibilities. I'm sick of. What up, Vi? How you doing, man? I wish you could VIP on YouTube. What up, Vi? How you doing, man? Miss you, bro. Just getting flashbacks. Anyway, Elon Musk. I don't find him particularly offensive. I don't care. And I'm trying to understand why people hate him so much. Why do you hate Elon? Oh, Elon Musk has so much wealth. No, compared to what? Compared to the average person, sure. But you realize there's a lot of people who have a lot of wealth, right? I mean, and well, Elon Musk, he's hoarding his wealth. Okay, let me give you a picture of okay, U.S. annual spending. So what? About 4 or 5 trillion spending in 2021. $6.8 trillion was spent by the government just to keep this shit running that we have. 6.8 trillion. How much money did the government print? Government printing money. How much do they print? Just in 2021. Money printing, all in money printing totaled 13 trillion, 5.2 for COVID and 4.5 for quantitative easing. I don't give a shit that Elon Musk has $100 billion. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Are you jealous of him? Because I'm not. I don't care. I live a happier life than Elon. Now, I'd love to have some money I'd love to have enough money to be able to publish my books and write my books and research and focus on this and build this and do the things that I love. I just don't feel entitled to it. I don't feel entitled to that money, right? I feel like that's money I have to earn by proving myself to an audience that wants to support me. So I don't have envy. I don't feel like he took the money from me. Well, Hans, what about the people in debt? What about the people who are having hard times financially? But those aren't the people who hate Elon. Those people like Elon. The people who hate Elon Musk seem to be relatively privileged compared to the majority of people. Like journalists. Journalists hate Elon Musk. Journalists who live in New York and Brooklyn and elsewhere, those people really hate the guy. Those aren't people starving on the street or fucking, living in hell or whatever. So those people don't seem to be envious of Musk or hate him. Actually, those people kind of they like him most of the time. So to get that out of the way, Elon's a capitalist. Are you sure? Oh, y'all are just not ready. Can I please drop this red pill? Can I drop this red pill without people getting ass hurt? You don't speak for the poor. I don't speak for the poor, bitch. I'm not saying. I don't give a. But fuck your virtue signaling. Suck my nuts, bitch. We live in a dog-eat-dog world. There's no solidarity among the poor themselves, bitch. Among the poor themselves is the dog-eat-dog world, you dumb fuck. Stupid bitch. You don't speak for the poor, Hans. I've never seen those people be complaining about Elon Musk once. The people struggling in poverty. Don't happen. They got other things to worry about. And Elon Musk having $100 billion, that has nothing to do with it. Nothing. Nothing. If you knew how much money is flowing through the city of London and Wall Street and through speculation and shit, I mean, you would not. You think Elon's the real ruling class. You're a dumbass. Anyway, regarding Elon Musk. Elon's a capitalist. How about the child labor involved in his wealth? How about the child labor involved in your fucking computer, you fucking stupid bitch hypocrite? You're a fucking hypocrite. You use computers. Children in mines are the reason you have a fucking computer right now. So shut the fuck up, dumbass. But shut the fuck up. Shut your stupid dumbass up. But Elon's involved in a coup in Bolivia. And Bolivia defeated him. But Elon's against AMLO. Well, AMLO defeated him. By the way, is it true that Elon was the reason for the Bolivia coup? I don't think it was. I don't think it was Elon. I think he just made a tweet making fun of it. But Elon's at the vanguard of U.S. imperialism now. Press X to doubt. I doubt it. Thank you, Morlock.
Being triggered by industrial capitalists is a sign of an infantile disorder. Stalin thought Henry Ford was a great guy.
Oh, I know, but these people aren't ready for that pill. Thing is, Elon isn't a capitalist. I'm sorry, he's not. He's not. He's not. A capitalist makes a return on profit. Elon Musk doesn't do that. Elon Musk does not make money selling commodities. Do you actually think Tesla's cars are responsible for any profits Tesla may get? No, they're not. Elon Musk is not a capitalist. He's not. He doesn't get his wealth from MCM. He doesn't get his wealth from the creation of value. He is actually not a capitalist. So what is he? It's a different type of class, which we don't even have the language to describe in Marxism. The Russian oligarchs aren't capitalists. We don't even have the language to describe this class. A lot of people say shit like, why do we call Russian oligarchs oligarchs? Let's just call them capitalists. And I'm here sitting like, actually, I think we should start calling capitalists oligarchs, because the capitalist class It's very tough. I think the only capitalists that really exist today are derivative, speculative, financial capitalists. That's the only real way to be a capitalist in 2022. It's almost like you have to assimilate the entire mode of production into the circuit of capital, which is it's derivative. It's financial derivatives, right? That's where it fucking is. It's almost like capitalists today have created like this form of socialism, which they're getting rich off of. They're like, socialism itself is like this productive engine that they're using in the same way they would use the individual labor inputs of workers. Haas, I disagree with you. Disagree with me then, bitch. But you're acting like I just killed someone by saying that in a video game. You're acting like I committed the worst sin ever. Elon isn't a capitalist. He's not. I don't know what he is, or I don't really have the language to describe what he is, but he's not a capitalist. He's not. His wealth comes from owning shares of Tesla, not from making profits. Elon said he's a socialist. Okay, I think most people need to understand that there's a big difference between a socialist who's an ideological socialist and a capitalist, which isn't an ideology, but it describes a class. This is a big pet peeve I have. It's people who are like, oh, Haas, but he's a capitalist. Okay, but a capitalist is a class. That means it's a class. You know, the people do this thing where they're like, oh, Hassan, how could you be a socialist when you're a capitalist? Well, because you can be a capitalist in the sense of like a material scientific term of a relationship to production. That doesn't mean you're a capitalist ideologically. Ideology and material reality don't match up one for one. They're not synonymous. So yeah, you could be a capitalist in a material sense and be a socialist in a political or ideological sense. Now, can you be a socialist in a material sense? Thank you, Morgan.
Musk is a big fan of Kamala Tark, unironically.
Yeah, thank you, Morgan. Appreciate you. And I think I heard that before too. You can be a capitalist in a material sense and be a socialist ideologically and politically. Now, what does socialism mean in a material sense? That's a really good question, because that's a question that's never been able to... Like, for example, a capitalist is someone who's involved in production in a certain way. What is a socialist? How do you define socialism beyond politics and beyond ideology? It's kind of really tough to do, right? But I think there is a way to do it. And the way you can define a socialist beyond ideology and beyond politics... Thank you, Robert.
Just a reminder to all those anti-billionaire people, poverty is not socialism, but to be rich is glorious thing.
The way you be a socialist beyond ideology and beyond politics is through art. It's being a great thinker. But it's not just the thinking of an idea or an ideology. It's the thinking of work. A work of art. Lenin was a socialist. Stalin was a socialist. They were heads. The heads of Marxism-Leninism. Socialists. They were making socialism. The work of socialism. Through the pen. It's not just ideology, and it's not just politics. That is the material core of socialism. The head. The work of the word. The ability to synthesize everything at once and create an output that reflects the concrete wisdom of the entire society. That's what socialism is. That's what it means. Elon Musk has purchased Twitter, and I want to talk about the full breadth of the implications of that. Because as much as I really welcome the news, and as much as I delight in leftists and liberals being butthurt about it, I don't. Who cares about Twitter? Who gives a fuck? I don't really. I mean, I like this. I like this development, but you know, let me show y'all something. Check this out.
Well, here's some news for your Monday morning.
Shut
Twitter
the fuck up,
close
bitch.
to a deal to sell itself to Elon Musk.
Oh, I'm sorry for calling you a bitch.
Taking another look at the tech billionaire's takeover.
Sorry, Laura Ingram. Is that Laura Ingram? Let me show y'all something.
It's another day, and anything could happen.
Shut up. And bring me to another ad. Farabi!
Work is worship.
What the fuck? Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Farabi. What currency is that? AED. What is that? Currency. Where you oh, you in Dubai, bruh. You in Dubai. What up, bruh? You in Dubai. Let me show y'all this. So check this out. Check this out. So look at this. The one thing I was looking forward to with Elon's acquisition is the return of Trump. And now it's not happening. It's not happening. I can't really say I give that much of a shit about Elon buying Twitter when this is not happening. I don't really care that much. I just don't. I don't give a fuck, right? I don't give that much of a fuck. Because that was the only source of joy on Twitter I had. Now, you could say that, oh, okay, a bunch of other people are going to get unbanned. Okay. I don't give a fuck about Twitter. There's nothing good on Twitter. That, you know, here's some questions. I just have some questions, right? So first, Elon, are you going to unban the people that got banned? Or is this going to be like, okay, going forward? Because I think you should unban everyone, right? Second thing, and this would really surprise me, right? Is that does Elon plan on really lifting all of the misinformation restrictions? All of them? All of them? Because that would be based as fuck. And that's really all I care about. Remove the misinformation restrictions, and that would be based as fuck. I don't know. I highly doubt there's going to be... he said that he's going to allow whatever is according to the law. That would be mega based. But what that means is that there would be no longer any hate speech policies. I'm pretty sure Elon is going to keep hate speech policies intact. And the reason I know that is because he made a tweet where he said, any policy which upsets the 10% of the extreme right and the 10% of the extreme left is good. So why would he have a policy that upsets the 10% of the extreme right? Well, the reason is probably because they're still going to ban hate speech. They're still going to do that, right? Yeah, climate change misinformation was going to be enforced. I don't know. If he's serious, I mean, there's nothing we could do about it. But if he's serious, that would be beautiful. It's just, I think it's funny to look at the responses to this. And among the kind of more scary responses, or intriguing responses, I should say, is this one. Where the fuck is this? Check this out. So I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat because this is a little spooky, right? So this is Jen Psaki, and she was asked this question. Check this out.
Regardless of ownership, would the White House be interested in working with Twitter like it has in the past to continue to combat this kind of misinformation? Or are we in a different part of the pandemic where that kind of partnership is no longer necessary?
Well, I think we engage regularly with all social media platforms about steps that can be taken. That has continued, and I'm sure it will continue. But there are also reforms that we think Congress could take.
That Congress could take? What do you mean Congress? I thought this was just about private corporation. I mean, now what? You're gonna what?
And we would support taking, including reforming Section 230.
Section 230. In case you don't know what Section 230 is, Section 230 is pretty much what enshrines our ability to not have to be liable for the shit we say on social media legally, according to free speech protections. So this is Section 230. There's a lot of rights it lays out. No provider or user of an interactive service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. So, for example, Twitter can't be sued for someone spreading misinformation on Twitter, right? Or for lying on Twitter. So, it's pretty fucking crazy how they want to amend this Section 230 shit. And I kind of put my tinfoil hat on a little, and I'm like, as much as I really love Elon Musk, what a based, oh, Elon, right? I was thinking about this conspiracy I had. I was thinking about this insane conspiracy theory I had, where what if Elon is doing this to lay the groundwork for this kind of Section 230 shit? I mean, I don't know. I'm just sorry. What Elon's doing, call me cynical, call me poisoned, call me cynical. I just think it's kind of too good to be true. Just seems too good to be true. But let's just proceed with the assumption that Elon Musk is going to go through with this radical reform of Twitter, where Twitter does become a free speech platform. Okay, if that's true, assuming that's true, I think we could be looking at a very beautiful age of the internet. And I think it will set a trend that'll spread to YouTube, and it'll spread to Twitch, and it'll spread to elsewhere. And I think that has more to do with Web3. I think Elon is preparing Twitter to be a Web3 platform. I actually am very happy about Elon Musk's acquisition for Twitter. Elon seems like he's always ahead of the curve when it comes to culture shit, and I think he could turn Twitter into something cool. And then, okay, there's all these people who go, in all seriousness, they go, but Elon Musk is a billionaire who's gonna own our public square. Do you think Twitter was owned publicly? Because it wasn't. Just because it's traded publicly doesn't mean the public owned Twitter. The public didn't own Twitter. The government didn't own Twitter. Saudis own Twitter, and all sorts of other BlackRock and Vanguard own Twitter. You realize nothing changed as far as that's concerned. Yeah, Twitter was never owned publicly. It was never nationalized. So the fact that you're bitching about Elon Musk owning Twitter because he's a billionaire, oh, okay, it's okay for all these other Saudis and capitalists and shit, and Goldman Sachs and all them to own Twitter? That's okay? Shut the fuck up. Like, wait until they find out who owns Facebook. Wait until they find out who... Yeah, dipshit. They're privately owned companies. Some are traded publicly, but they're owned privately. They belong in the private sector. I mean, that's where they are. mean, I would love it if Twitter was nationalized and treated according to the First Amendment protections. You know, I just, that's just not gonna fucking happen. So nothing changed as far as that's fucking concerned. Nothing. Absolutely nothing changed as far as that's concerned. Okay? So that's like the biggest dipshit fucking argument I hear from the left. Oh my god, we should be really wary of a billionaire owning Twitter. Oh yeah, why? Because Twitter was fucking publicly owned before Elon, you stupid fuck. Twitter was democratically owned or whatever the fuck, you're stupid. Twitter was like democratically owned co-op before Elon. this Saudi hedge fund and Goldman Sachs and Vanguard, that was a workers cooperative council. The board of trustees on Twitter was a workers cooperative council communism, worker co-op, and they owned it democratically, and Elon is now an authoritarian who's taking it away. You're a fucking dumbass. You're literally a dipshit. I can't believe that's an argument I've seen on Twitter. I mean, they haven't said the democratic co-op shit, but they're like making it seem like Elon's this capitalist he's privatizing our public square. It was never fucking public, you fucking idiot. It was traded publicly. I don't think you know what that fucking means. For something to be traded, okay, let me put it this way. If your mom is traded publicly, thank you, Toast.
Who cares which rich dude owns a website?
Thank you, Toast. If your mom is traded publicly, that means she's getting gangbanged by like 10 dudes, okay? But that doesn't mean it's going to be every dude. It's just going to be like 10. 10 jacked as fuck, whatever dudes gangbanging your mom. Okay, if she's... You get what I'm saying? It don't mean everyone is going to have a go with your mom, even though it's pretty close. But... this is such a dirty example. But you get my fucking point, right? If Twitter's traded publicly, it only means like there's going to be like, what, 10 people who control it. Doesn't mean the whole public controls it. When we say she's getting passed around, we don't mean all around the world. We don't mean democratically. This is a weird example. It is actually a very weird example. I just wanted to say a mom joke. I just wanted to insult a hater's mom. But, okay, what's a better joke? What's a better joke? What's a better example? So if something's traded publicly, damn. What is a good example of this? All right, well, while I think about a good example of this, I can't. I literally can't. I'm trying to think about it so hard. Twitter's traded publicly doesn't mean it's owned by the public, okay? Simple. There's a bunch of different private capitalists or whatever, just to use colloquial terms. By the way, Kevin, I thought you said there's no capitalists anymore. You are anal about language. Chill. That's what we call them. When I say they're not capitalists, I'm speaking to you at an intellectual level, not a fucking colloquial street language level. So if all these private capitalists own Twitter, okay, that's what it means for it to be traded publicly. Now we have a situation where Elon alone owns Twitter. Wow! It's almost like your wife decided to just marry someone instead of being passed around the block by 10 dudes. She's still getting passed around, bruh. Elon is defiling my wife. Bruh, everybody was defiling your wife. At least it's monogamous now. That's the example. Elon is ravishing my wife. Bruh, everybody was. She was getting passed around by everybody. Such a Freudian example. But that's exactly what it is. Twitter was not democratically owned. It wasn't owned by the government, and it wasn't a fucking co-op, since lefties love co-ops. It wasn't that. It was still owned by capitalists. The only difference now is we apparently have free speech, which, why would I not welcome that? Why would I not be like, okay, I welcome that. I applaud that. Because Elon Musk represents a dangerous new phenomenon.
Every woke scold used the concept of a private company to defend any censorship. Now they are upset it's a private company? Makes no sense.
Thank you, Morlock. I am not really... I'm not against the new fucking Silicon Valley neo-reactionary fucking dark enlightenment feudal fucking lords or whatever. Yeah, sure. It's gonna be the lords versus the merchants. And I think we should welcome the lords for now and then overthrow them later in a video game. Because the merchants, by merchant I mean Wall Street, City of London capitalists. It's not a dog whistle. Anyone trying to say it's a dog whistle, it's not. But like, that's the media, that's the academia, that's the journalists, that's the government, it's everything, right? And it's almost like kind of like we're going from this hidden oligarchy that pretends to be a democracy to an open, shameless oligarchy. And an open, shameless oligarchy is better. Honestly. It's better. I think the forces of production should be accelerated. In whatever superstructural, even if that means the destruction of, you know, I don't care. There's so many red pills you're not ready for. Fascism is going to come. This is not fascism. Fascism is when Twitter has misinformation policies and they crack down on all dissent and freedom of speech. That's more fascistic. What Elon's doing is more bourgeois democratic or whatever, right? He's kind of like the democracy of the big bourgeoisie, which, whatever. We're not going to complain about it. I'm not complaining. Why would we complain? I'm happy. I'm very happy about it. I am very happy about it. I'm extremely happy about it. But Jen Psaki is going to use, or the Democrats are using this as an opportunity to try and use Congress to curb free speech on social media platforms. So they're going to try and curb misinformation, which is like a really unprecedented development. That's an extremely unprecedented and dangerous development. Now, why is it so unprecedented? And why is it so fucking dangerous? Well, it's simple. It's pretty simple, actually. It's unprecedented and dangerous. I can't believe it's 1 a.m. Unbelievable. It's unprecedented and dangerous because we used to be able to blame private companies before. Now it doesn't matter what the private company is. You're going to have our free speech curtailed. I had to eat that because it's 1 a.m. Which is quite late. But as I was saying, or as I've been trying to say, Elon is going to make sure labor organization doesn't exist on Twitter. Wait, what the fuck are you talking about? So first of all, if you're talking about labor organization in the form of like free speech, you're wrong. I don't think that. If you're talking about Twitter employees unionizing, literally fuck every Twitter employee. I don't give a fuck about them. Twitter programmer unions! Elon's cracking down on the Twitter programmer unions! Fuck them. I hope their life becomes worse. I hope they have to work 18 hours a day for 2 cents an hour. I hope they have to work in sweatshop-like conditions in a video game. I hope all labor protections for Twitter programmers are removed. Especially the fucking... we're gonna have a Twitter space about Russian misinformation. Remember, those are the fucking people that put Russia state affiliated. Fuck those people. I don't give a fuck. I hope... I can't even say what I hope Elon... I hope Elon turns Twitter into a fucking company town. I hope Elon subjects them to fucking 19th century fucking grueling labor conditions where they have to fucking program Twitter with a fucking spindle. They have to use the spindle to fucking with ones and O's to program, and it takes fucking 19 hours a day to get one line of code done. I hope he does that. I hope there is absolutely no rights for the Twitter workers. None. Okay? I hope... Fuck the spindle. That's too advanced. That's way too advanced. I hope he makes them... I hope he makes them work in the fucking fields and they have to program Twitter through fucking water-based fucking... What are those things called? That turn with water to power shit or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't really give a shit about water mills. Yeah. So needless to say, like in the Middle Ages, right? I hope Elon Musk subjects them to work conditions like the fucking people who built the pyramids, where they got each 1-0 code block. They have to carry it up. Heave, ho, heave, ho, and they're carrying that block up the pyramid, and it takes them 2,000 years to fucking change the logo on Twitter. I hope that's what happens. Okay. Yeah, so I'd spent a long time on that question, but that's a completely non-factor in the acquisition of Twitter. I mean, this is like when Vosh was like, "Oh, but workers actually made the weapons." Raytheon isn't bad. I trust Raytheon because of the workers who have manufactured Raytheon's weapons. Fuck the workers, bitch. What a stupid fucking cope. Oh, but those were workers that run Raytheon. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. Fuck them. Okay, anyway. You know what's kind of weird is that Jeff Bezos talked about this. And I didn't know Jeff Bezos tweets, but he does. And it's super weird. And his tweets usually don't get a lot of likes. I guess this one did rack up. But this is sad, dude. Elon Musk tweets get like 100K likes each. Dude, you only got 17.k likes. Now, if you think that's bad, just wait. But he goes, interesting. Did the Chinese government just gain a bit of leverage over the town square? I didn't know Bezos was so openly anti-China. And I think that's the next thing they're doing, is that the next push they're going to have is cool, tech, anti-China. That's what you got to be suspicious about a lot of shit, because, you know, a lot of things that appear anti-establishment, they're just laying the groundwork for fucking the China shit, right? And look at Bezos. Whoa, this is the new Russiagate, right? Well, Tesla's second biggest market in 2021 was China. Chinese battery makers are major suppliers for Tesla's EVs. After 2009, when China banned Twitter, the government there had no leverage over the platform. That may have just changed. Quite the cope. Quite the copium. My own answer for this question is probably not. More likely outcome in this regard is complexity in China for Tesla than censorship at Twitter. Yeah, this is like a reach. I don't think this is gonna... I mean, this makes Elon look more base than he is, but I don't really think that's true. I think Elon is selling his cars into China, probably in collaboration with the State Department. But we'll see. Musk is extremely good, and yeah, he hates Musk. They hate each other. And then they actually hate each other, by the way. Then he also responded to this Glenn Greenwald tweet, which got 3,000 likes. It's pretty fucking crazy. So Glenn Greenwald, this is like nothing. I've gotten tweets with more than this. You know, that's sad. This Vanity Fair article on the New Right. And so if you don't know about this shit, inside the New Right, where Peter Thiel is placing his biggest bets. So they're not MAGA, they're not Curtis Yarvin, and they're talking about the neo-reaction people, the Curtis Yarvin people. And wow. I wish these people good luck. I hope they succeed, whatever they're fucking doing, because if they succeed, that's a vacuum of opportunity. It was Halloween in Orlando, and we had piled into a car to make a short trip from the Hilton to an after party down the road to wind up at the first night of the latest edition of a gathering called National Conservatism Convention. Or at least many of the young people, the actual business of the conference seemed to be besides the point, a gesture at how we used to conduct politics out of control. There were jokes, and there were serious questions. Don't fuck me here, a dark-haired woman named Amanda Mills said to me, as she somewhat imperiously dealt with the guy at the door, who was skeptical about letting a reporter into the party, and say we're all sacrificing kids to Moloch, we're here, normal people hanging out in the real world. Who is Amanda Milius? I've never heard of her. Fuck you, Vanity Fair. Fuck you. Amanda Milius. Who the fuck is that? I had met Milius outside the Hilton when I asked for this would have made me so paranoid like 3 years ago. And she began to chaperone me around, telling me who eyed my press pass. And any woman ever with the first time a counter narrative about Russiagate. Annie Leibovitz. This is like a bunch of useless info I don't care about. A crowd of people representing the American rights, radical young conservatives. Most of these pieces describe who made up most of the partygoers around me were only the most buttoned up, seeing much like political ferment bubbling up in America's young and well-educated elite, part of an intra-media class info war. The podcasters, bro-ish, anonymous Twitter posters, online philosophers, artists, and amorphous scenesters of the world are known as dissidents, neo-reactionaries, post-leftists, and heterodox fringe. I didn't know the post leftists and the NRX people united, but Neo reaction is cringe. I'm sorry. Nick Land made it into something that sounded so scary. One description of NRX is that one is always to the right of you. No, Neo reaction's more like democracy was a mistake and that kind of shit. They're kind of like utopian socialists. That's how I describe them. Utopian socialists. But what's really fucking weird is that I didn't know post leftists were in bed with them. Anyway, Nick Land made them sound really cool, and they're not. They're not as cool as Nick Land described them. Nick Land made it seem like they're like Darth Vader. Amy works for the Teal funded magazine. I think these people hate us. I think these people hate us. I think because Amy hates us. By the way, let me tell you what a clown Amy is. Amy used to throw shit on me. She's like, you're a Twitch streamer. If you're on Bezos' funded Twitch, you're on the wrong billionaire side, Haas. My daddy's Peter Thiel. And you sided with Bezos against my daddy. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about that. The fuck do you want from me? Anyway, she was like, you're on Bezos' Twitch, and the reason they're keeping you there, Haas, is because you're a tool of the establishment, and you're gonna be on Twitch and become the next Hassan Haas, and actually, they're preparing you to psyop the younger generation to vote for Democrats, and in a few years, you're gonna be supporting Kamala, just like Chapo Trap House. I'm like, bitch, damn. And then I got banned from Twitch, and that bitch didn't say shit. I got banned, bitch. Where's that shit you were talking about? That I was working for Bezos and I was an agent of the Democrat Bezos complex. They fucking banned me forever. Is that all part of the conspiracy too? Is that also all part of the fucking plan? They banned me, Amy. Amy Teresa. Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa. Bitter Teresa. Post left is throwing hate on me for nothing. Oh, nothing to do is they call us third worlders. I'm a third worlders, huh? You know, Amy's call herself Lebanese. I think I know why she has beef with me. She's got beef with me probably because her family was probably on the other side of the Civil War than mine. I really think that's why. I think she's like phalangist. Keteb. I think she's Ketebi. She probably comes from a Ketebi family. Unironically, I think that's why she hates me. I unironically think it's because she's from a fucking Ketebi family. I swear I think that's the reason. Like, why did she randomly hate me? Because I'm Hazb. Huh? I didn't say anything. Yo, Amy. Phoenician is fake. I'm an Arab. I'm an Arab. I'm the same people as Gaddafi. I'm the same people as Nasser. I'm the same people as Bashar. I'm the same people as that, bitch. I'm the same people as Ben Bella. The only fucking difference is that we eat olives and fucking goat cheese and shit. We're not French and we're not Phoenician, Amy. We're not French and not Phoenician. Anyway, I got no idea why she's got a problem with me. Not all Kitab think they're Phoenicians, bro. Well, I just think I was on the opposite side of her in the Civil War. Though they're often all grouped for convenience under the heading of America's New Right. Yeah, fuck the New Right. I'm sorry. That's lame.
Base.
Thank you, Morgan.
Yarvin plagiarized Gramsci's theory of hegemony.
I've never been like impressed. You know, Dugan also loves that theory of hegemony. I've never been impressed by Gramsci's hegemony. It doesn't impress me because I come from a Heideggerian French background. And that shit is superfluous to us, right? Like, what is cultural hegemony when you understand, like, Deleuze and Lacan? You say cultural hegemony, I say the symbolic order, you know? What is... you say cultural hegemony, I say the big other, right? It's like Gramsci's not that impressive to me. And I think Gramsci was wrong. I don't like Gramsci. I don't. Gramsci, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Gramsci's whole shtick was like, instead of the workers and peasants, we need to have the workers and grad students. I don't know. That's just my interpretation. They have widely diverse set of political backgrounds with influences ranging from the Jacobite royalists to Marxist culturalists to reactionary feminists to Kaczynski. Economic growth and technology are inevitably leading towards a better future. It's a vision that has become quietly edgy and cool in the tech outposts like Miami and Austin. Miami?
Gramsci is terrible. And he stole his theory of hegemony from Gentile.
Thank you, Chris. I didn't know that. But I didn't know Miami. And Miami and Austin, they're active. Where the new right politics are in. And signifiers like Demur Cross necklace have been markers of the trans... Demur Cross necklace. Demur Cross necklace. I really don't like the fucking Quillette people. As long as it's not the Quillette people, I'm not that against it. But I hate those fucking Quillette people. I don't like anything that involves Sam Harris is my enemy. Sorry. And that I'm probably never going to be able to go on Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan really is friends with Sam Harris. I don't hate Joe Rogan. I don't. I do think Sam Harris is an asshole. He's a dumbass. Sam Harris is a dumbass. I'm sorry. He's a dumbass. I don't like that guy. Peter Thiel, the billionaire who helped fund the NatCon and who had just given the conference's opening address. He's also funded things like the Edgelordian Post-Left and fucking New People's Cinema Film Festival. Big donor Republicans. Yeah, Thiel. And he's funding Vance. Will Thiel ever fund infrared? Probably not, right? Probably not. Bro, Thiel, just... you want chaos, right? So fund infrared. Fuck. Yarvin, a 48-year-old ex-programmer and blogger who has done more than... But here's why I don't think they like us. Because if Amy just randomly starts hating on me, I think it's because her whole, like, crowd hates me, right? I'm with the... So there's a Nick Land, Curtis Yarvin Civil War. I'm with Nick Land. I'm sorry. Yeah. Is Nick Land racist? Yeah. Does he say racist boomer shit? Yeah. Is he sometimes cringe? Yeah. But come on, bruh. Come on. At least he has a soul. At least he's got soul to him. I like Nick Land. I'm on Nick Land's side. I agree with Nick Land. And that's so weird because Nick Land's British and Yarvin is like American. But I side with the British guy. I don't side with the American Yarvin. I'm siding with the British guy. I like Nick Land. He's way cooler. He's way cooler. He's way cooler than Curtis. I'm sorry, but Nick Land, he like knows things, you know? yeah, he's got a soul and he's cool and he's more human and more sympathetic with it. You have more crossover with Amy. I like Nick Land. I don't hate Yarvin. Actually, I kind of like Yarvin. But his crowd, I mean, his lieutenant Amy is against me, so I don't know. I don't know if we're enemies. Yarvin is pro-British Crown. That's the thing. I'm on the Nick Land side of the Civil War. Yarvin is not 17. What are you talking about? Yarvin's pretty interesting. He's pretty smart and interesting and stuff. But here's what's weird. And I'm going to take you guys down a rabbit hole just kind of briefly. So the neo-reactionaries kind of want to return to monarchy. They're like, the problem with America is democracy, whatever, right? And then, okay, but let me show you something. And I actually predicted this before. So Meghan Markle to enter politics after hiring Obama's PR guru. So the PR guru who helped Obama get elected is helping Meghan Markle run for president. And if you don't know what the plan is, I've told it to you like a year ago. But there's a faction of our ruling class, the woke faction, actually believes that America at the most fundamental level was a mistake. It was a white supremacist state from the very founding. The founding fathers were reactionaries who were resisting British progress. And it's like when you couple these 1619 Project narratives that are becoming very widespread in ruling circles and in the academia, with the continued pervasive dominance of the City of London and like British capitalists in America and the influence of British intelligence and its relation to our deep state and all that kind of shit, it kind of seems a little opportunistic, and it kind of seems to me like there's a bigger picture at hand where they're like trying to return us to the fold of a wokeified British monarchy again, right? America's problem is that we don't have a monarch, we don't have a power, we don't have a sovereign. We need to return to the British monarchy, and that's and we're going to return to the British monarchy, but it's going to be a British monarchy that atones for its sins. We're sorry for colonialism. We're sorry for slavery. We're sorry for all the things we did. And our new queen is a black woman. We're going to do some shit like that, right? And I've been calling it and predicting this for a long fucking time. And I've been saying the Communist Party needs to be a platform for 1776 American Republic. That kind of shit, right? But let me tell you something weird. I don't want to point fingers and shit, and maybe I'm wrong. I want to ask Curtis about this himself, because I think he is reachable. And I want to have him on, and I'm not going to interrogate him, but I'm going to ask him about this, because it's kind of weird how like there's this overlap between the New York Times Cathedral and the New Right in the form of Yarvin, where it's like they kind of, it's almost like there's an overlap where it's like, this is how you deal with the woke thing, and it's also how you, I don't know. Are they collaborating secretly behind the scenes? I mean, I don't fucking know. Probably not. Probably just one of those beautiful contradictions. Yarvin is a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. But, he's like a very smart guy in general. I like him. Don't get me wrong, I like him. I just like Nick Land more. You know? And I was looking around the park. You know what my problem with the New Right is? Is that it's kind of like with the intellectual dark web, where they're like, you know, they're trying to be subversive, but they're not, because I'm way more crazy than you guys, you know? I was looking around the party for Vance, who hasn't yet, and Milius nudged me and pointed me on the table. Wherever it was, I see Curtis. He's surrounded by a big table of incels. She asked with apparent fondness. I spotted Yarvin, a slight, bespectacled man with dark hair. And Michael Anton, a Machiavelli scholar and former spokesman of Trump's National Security Council and a prominent public intellectualizer of the Trump movement. Other luminaries afoot at the conference include Chris Arnad, political reporters, the ones who've been bothered by Yarvin. I also dismissed him as a kook with a readership made up of mostly lonely internet weirdos, fascists, or both. He's not a fascist. He's not. As a matter of fact, Yarvin is kind of like left-wing in the American sense, because if you knew what he disputed with Nick Land about, you would know that Yarvin took the left position. So, you know, it's actually the opposite of what you would think. That goes much deeper. Thank you, Unidentified Man. Appreciate
Unwavering
it.
support for the Afro-Asiatic man with Eurasian characteristics against Reddit nerd discrimination.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate it a ton. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna order some food. Just kidding. Everything's closed. If you don't get it and forget it, find a way and I'm gonna make it. And my boyfriend's pretty cool. He plays guitar while he sit and read. I got manners on my hand. I get down when... So yeah, sorry. It's become foundational to the whole political and cultural scene that goes much deeper. Anything you learn from panels. People often struggle with what make Teal's involvement with this ecosystem. Teal, I don't know why, because Teal's Palantir is some very glowy shit. The thing is, I'm gonna just report the truth to you guys. Teal is not, I don't think it's possible for Teal to be like this rebel, because he's Palantir, and Palantir is like, that's very deep. It's like, it seems like a psyop, you know, it's very much State Department. That's also why Kantbot doesn't like these people. Kantbot and Logo. And I haven't talked to them about it, but I've seen some of what they've said about it, and you know, it is really kind of mysterious. I think they think that these are going to be the new neocons. They're preparing because you know what? This is why we have to be wary of this, right? If you remember the neocons, they did come out and they were like, oh, we're Straussian. They were followers of Leo Strauss, and they were like, oh, we're super subversive and we're super countercultural. And then the neocons would be like this people who spearheaded the Iraq War, which, as we know, is like the most quintessentially glowy shit in the world, right? So I think you're kind of dealing with something a little similar here. And I don't want to write it off as that, but I just think we should be a little suspicious of that, you know? Teal has been influenced by the intellectual... See, these people are Trotskyists. I'm a Stalinist, right? And by the way, Musk knows about this shit too. I don't know how much Musk is involved in it or whatever, but both Musk and Thiel founded PayPal together. So Musk and Peter Thiel know each other, and they're closely related. I really do think Elon Musk is probably a neo-reactionary too, who believes in all this stuff. Probably, definitely. And he's kind of like been hiding it. And every opportunity he makes, he goes against like the woke cathedral every time he gets a chance to. And I've been paying attention to that. So guys, back in 2016, I saw Elon Musk as a right-winger. When everyone thought he was like a liberal, right? Oh, he supported Obama, he was a liberal. No, I saw him as a right-winger neo-reactionary because of his involvement with Thiel. Like, everything that has happened since then has basically confirmed that. Vance sits somewhere in between these two tendencies. At 37, he's a venture capitalist who is young enough to be exposed to the dissident online currents. But he's also shaped by the deeply traditionalist thinking, the American right. I didn't know J.D. Vance was friends with Yarvin, whom he openly cites as a political influence. With Dreyer, who was when Yarvin was baptized in the Catholic Church, Vance believes in a well-educated and culturally liberal American elite has greatly benefited from globalization. This is all based stuff. Culture war is class warfare. Yeah, based. Pretty based. I used to think of neo-reaction as like, this is going to be the ideology of the ruling class. Because like, they're like, there's an aristocracy called the regime. And I'm like, aren't these people pro-aristocracy? Isn't that what they want? And it's like, no. My basic idea is like, they want to formalize this, right? It's almost scandalous. It's a scandalous indictment of the current liberal order. I am not pro-aristocracy. I'm pro-indirect aristocracy. Imagine, it's just, let me tell you why. I'll have Curtis Yarvin on, and I'm going to give him a fair opportunity to like present the idea. But here's from my limited perspective, right? My limited perspective is basically that I think Yarvin's thing is like, this is what I've always used to think, and it's not really true, but I always used to think he's kind of like, it's kind of this nightmarish scenario of like tech-coded aristocracy, which is like a little cringe, right? Like imagine Redditors being in control with no democratic liberties or anything. I'm kind of like Alex Jones. Alex Jones told Curtis, he's like, so Curtis, I heard you're a fan of monarchy. I believe in the republic, right? And I just have that kind of skepticism, right? But I understand they're doing it's a little more complicated than that. I think the new right doesn't really talk about the democracy thing a lot. Yarvin is friendly and solicited person. Works on project. Yarvin is pretty condescending view of the mainstream media. They're just predators. True. Make a living attacking people like him. True. They just need to eat. He doesn't usually deal with the mainstream magazines, and he wrote that he'd be ambushed at the last NatCon. A bunch of little kids. I want to talk to Curtis Yarvin. He's such an interesting guy, and he's really smart. I want to talk to him. But now Yarvin is a cult hero to the ultra hip crowd that downtown scene. It's Antifa. And why would Antifa want to fucking bother Curtis Yarvin? I don't get it. That's actually funny. Yarvin had asked his new girlfriend, 37-year-old founder of a progressive magazine, to vet me. He's a well-known blogger and activist in the BDSM scene when Yarvin was the early figure in the world of neo-reactionary writers. As Moldbug, Yarvin wrote about race-based IQ differences. Did he write a lot about that? I don't think he did. Why I Am Not a White Nationalist. He defended reading and linking to white nationalist writing. He told me he published those early writings in a spirit of open inquiry. Though Yarvin also openly acknowledged in a post that some of his readers seem to be white nationalists, some of Yarvin's writing is then so radically right-wing that it has to be read to be believed. He argued that Nelson Mandela had endorsed terror tactics and, yeah, we are very different ideologically. Very different. Very different. Because he critiques Mandela from a lib perspective, and I critique him from the EFF perspective. I am, if you want to ask me who is the greatest political leader not in power right now, it's Julius Malema. Easily, right? So that's my perspective. He's tempered himself in middle age. Never say anything unnecessarily controversial. To be fair to Yarvin, I think this is kind of just like when Mr. Girl or when Destiny says some like edgy shit just to like, it's just not, I don't really think it's because he's ideologically considers himself a reactionary, not just conservative. He thinks it is impossible for an Ivy League educated person to be conservative. He has consistently argued that conservatives waste their time and political energy on fights like gay marriage or critical race theory. His liberal ideology holds sway in the important institution of prestige, media, and academia. America's lost its state capacity. Explanation for why it seems not capable of governing anymore. The power of the executive branch has slowly developed into an oligarchy of the educated. Care more about competing for status within the system than they do about America's national interest. In order to understand this shit, you gotta understand dialogue. It's like they're much less authoritarian than the ideology that presented itself as mainstream. Yeah, it's like Yarvin was kind of a utopian who was talking about like, a future, the problem is democracy and we need to be more authoritarian. But it's like that's kind of seems to be coming from the mainstream now. Now there are these kind of like more subversive people, I guess. The idea that you can't raise your kids in a traditional, somewhat religious household without parent laissez-faire obscures. It tends to focus. Dasha Nekrasova is involved. Yeah, I think they're all friends. The Red Scare people, they're all friends. The liberal regime will begin to fall when the cool kids start to abandon its values and worldview. This must be so boring for you guys because I'm just like reading this. Just like investigating it. This is the first time I'm reading it, so I'm just like I'm not being a good streamer right now. I'm just reading shit myself. He sketched his vision of a constitutional regime change that would take back power from this oligarchy so diffuse most of you hardly knew it was there. Yeah, the French Revolution was started by nobles. You didn't know that. You know what's crazy is like Yarvin is anti-democratic in writing, but in practice, it seems more democratic. It seems like it's like a more... Seems like we have a gate-kept establishment, and he wants to open the floodgates to the masses. So he's pro-people, right? Vance denounced elite colleges as enemies of the American people. He has long proposed cutting off their federal funding and seizing their endowments. Based? Super based. Super based. That was a rabbit hole I did not plan on going on. Now, speaking of Meghan Markle, who's also like the news here. This is what Trump said about... I mean, it's Trump banned on YouTube. I probably can't cover him. Twitter accept Elon's buyout deal. And then look at this weird shit that CNN said. CNN's like, who will be the first to abandon Elon Musk's Twitter? The first people to flee are likely those who are on the receiving end of the worst of it. Women and people of color. Kind of torn. It's between Peter Thiel and this. It's between the Peter Thiel, whatever they're planning, and this shit. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'll side with the tech feudalists. Fuck democracy. This is what democracy means, then fuck it. But that's just a temporary alliance. As you know, we're Marxist-Leninists. This is interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Philosophy Tube slanders Dugin as a transphobe. You know what's funny is that Dugin may be a lot of things, but ironically, he's not a transphobe. Believe it or not. Dugin said that gender is completely socially constructed, and he also said that in his ideal future, genders will disappear and we will ascend to the level of angels or some shit like that. So, like, hilariously, he doesn't even... Yeah, he doesn't believe in gender because he doesn't believe in biology. He's like, gender is not biological because I don't believe in biology. It's like, hilariously, he's actually not a transphobe. His obsession with the number 418. I don't know. That's 4. Numerologically, it's 4. Yeah, he's way more postmodern than people think. Yeah, I like Twitch as you could scroll through who's live. I know. While women are more likely than men to use Facebook and Instagram, they're less likely to use Twitter and Reddit, which have become infamous for trolling. Yeah, I somehow doubt that's the reason that they don't use Twitter and Reddit. I think it's not because of abuse. I think it's more to do with like I don't fucking know, man. I just think men and women are different. Can I be honest though? I do get the women on the internet thing because like in our Discord, we have like we have like 5 women, and sometimes we just get these people that are like it's just a problem apparently, right? So yeah, that's just tough to deal with. But let me also push back and be a no, not let me push back and be like, what if that has to do with more that like women in a majority male community is gonna have a tougher time in the same way that men in a majority women community will have a tougher time because we socialize differently. And the reason why some communities are more heavily male probably has to do not with the sexism thing, but like the socialization thing. We're just socialized differently. Like, for example, infrared defies the socialization of leftism. That's like a very male thing to do, right? To defy the social discourse, that's what men do. Yeah, women like they don't go on the actually I don't know. You say they're not into argumentation. I don't think they're not into argumentation. I just think the things they argue about are different. Bro, I don't give a fuck about Johnny Depp. I literally don't. I don't care about Amber Heard or Johnny Depp. It's like the biggest fucking distraction ever. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I will literally never cover it. It's just crazy how journalists hide behind minorities. Actually insane. It's crazy. You want to know what an aristocracy is? An aristocracy is a failed democracy. That's what the paradox is. The reason, I have a challenge for neo-reactionaries. Ready? This is my challenge to them. This is my dialectic challenge to them. Okay? My dialectic challenge to neo-reactionaries. Here it is. Or to Yarvin himself. Here's my challenge. The critique of democracy ends up being a critique of aristocracy, and the idealization of a monarchy ends up being a democratic movement. Why? Because this aristocracy that ideologically is pro-democracy, ideologically they're pro-democracy, but in practice it ends up being an aristocracy. Right? Because they're not acknowledging the barrier that separates them from the masses. They're not acknowledging that they're actually gatekeepers. They're saying, oh, we're universal. It's the paradox of universalism where it becomes its opposite, right? Whereas if you have this grand vision of this monarchy and this aristocracy overthrowing democracy, it's a utopic vision, which necessarily implies a flattening of the system. A flattening which opens the floodgates and which can only be accomplished by disseminating said consciousness to the masses. So it becomes a popular ideology supported by the masses themselves. By engaging in this flattening, what you're basically doing is removing this barrier between the aristocracy and the masses and increasing the threshold of democratization. That's what Stalin did, by the way. It's all very interesting stuff. But anyway, guys. He just made a cringe tweet. Who made a cringe tweet? Who made a cringe tweet? Would I debate Tank again? Yeah, I would. I definitely would. Stalin was a good guy. What the fuck are you talking about? Assuming I can sleep, I will see you guys tomorrow. If I can't sleep, I may just take the day off. If I can sleep. Oh, Elon in the Bolivia. Yeah. All right. Goodbye, guys. I'm gonna eat dinner and go to sleep. But to be honest, I'm not lazy. I'm not fucking lazy. I can stream for another 10 hours. Okay? I'm in a very comfy chair right now. I can literally stream for another 12 hours in this chair. It's a very comfy chair. Matter of fact, you want to test me? All right, stream for 12 hours. Let's go. Just gonna chill. What up, y'all? I'm just kidding. No, I can. I'm literally gonna chill in this chair for a little bit. This is a really comfy. I love streaming like this, guys. I wish I had this on Twitch. I could have done like 10-hour Twitch streams a day. I would just be sitting here chilling with you guys, all cozy and shit. Damn, that wooden chair was really the reason I didn't like streaming. You guys know why I didn't like streaming? Because I just wanted to end the stream and go sit on the couch. Now that I have this chair, it's like, I just chill here. I just chill here with you guys. Right? I think I'll stream tomorrow. Maybe a long stream. Who knows? But I have to sleep. That's why I'm ending it. It's not because I'm lazy. I have to watch the documentary with you guys. I'd love to. We're gonna have a movie night sometime where we'll just like watch a movie together. We'll have like a comfy time watching a movie together. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go to sleep. Bye-bye. Stream for what? If you ain't got anything interesting to cover, then sleep and don't waste people's time. Damn. Mods, ban that fucker. Fuck you, Daniel K. Don't even understand how fucking Twitch streaming works, dumbass. We're not. You're at fucking YouTube. This is a community. We chill together. You're a fucking YouTube short attention span ass. Fuck you. Alright, anyway, guys. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. What up, Sultan? I miss Sultan. See you guys. Bye bye. Bye, guys.